Hey guys, welcome back again. Dave's Dimension. Welcome back again for another video. Welcome back again to another episode of Dimension Tech. Is a little video series I've begun on the channel where I'm going to be covering various overviews, thoughts, opinions about technology, different trends, different devices, maybe an unbox or two. And this one's going to come off very different. Now, I'm someone who I don't like how there's a lot of negativity on various channels all across YouTube, no matter what discussion you're talking about. I try not to bring the drama, but the drama kind of brought itself, and we're going to be talking about it. Strikeout with Skytech. That's going to be the subject of today's video, guys. Now, if you noticed the previous episode of Dimension Tech, I introduced this series where we're going to be reviewing different SIs from a purely observational perspective. Now, I am not someone who's going to throw tons of technical specs at you. I'm going to try and shoot it from the hip and kind of give you, because I worked in retail, but I also worked in technical support for 9 years. I worked for technical support for a cable company that I will not name. But I did customer service and technical support for 9 years for them. So I know a good level. I've built a couple computers in my time. Now, I am rusty when it comes to that, but I know enough to be dangerous. You know, the old saying, you know enough to be dangerous. Well, I wanted to cover different SIs, different system integrators, companies who make pre-built computers, basically, from various parts. They also may offer custom builds, and the very first one that we covered was Skytech. Sorry about that. Very first one we covered was Skytech. And honestly, at first glance, I am a big fan of them. Now, I was actually on Skytech's website, and I was looking at the Prism 3. Now, initially, I want to build a computer from scratch. I want to do a PC build myself. However, with finances and with the availability of the components I wanted to go with, it wasn't looking too good for me. So, I looked at Skytech because Skytech comes recommended from several of my friends in the collector community. Actually swore and said that, hey, I bought I had a Skytech computer from X number of years ago. It is still running. It is still a great piece of equipment, and that kind of gave me reassurance, like, okay, well, maybe I will put the PC build off to the side, and I'll go ahead and I'll do I'll get this computer, because looking at this, honestly, I mean, the specs alone on here, I mean, you have now this is a little bit different of a case. I mean, you have glass on the front and the side here. You have fans off to the side. Just the pure design of it looks like there's better airflow. And it gives more of an aesthetic, a nice little artistic look, so to speak. Because you can see, if you're someone who loves RGB, which is the LED lights that you have in a computer. I mean, we can see right off the top, we have one fan in the back, 3 off to the side. There may even be one at the bottom here. We don't know. And then, of course, you have the 3 going across here because obviously you have a radiator up there, aka an AIO cooler. So we have all that right there. Plus, I mean, the graphics card that they have on this bad boy, it's definitely one of the top ones, man. I mean, he's got looks like an i9 13900 processor in there for your for CPU. We have a 4080. We have 32 gigs of DDR5 RAM. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely something that is going to run great right now, especially for my needs as someone who wants to game, who wants to stream at the same time, and also for content creation, for editing videos and uploading and not having to wait half a day for it to upload. I mean, it's, this looks like this would be amazing. And we have the Black Friday deal, which is still, actually, this is the website right now. We're live on the website, and it's Wednesday when I'm recording this, November 29th. So, I mean, they still have their Black Friday, Cyber Monday deals going on. Now, a little bit extra information here, guys, okay? So, I went and I was going to purchase this. Full disclosure, guys, I was going to go ahead and order this. Here I am in the checkout, And what I did was I signed. They have an option where if you sign up, you can get a coupon code for an additional discount. So I did that on my phone. Sad to say, as soon as they gave me the code, I tried typing the code in. It wouldn't work. I got this lovely little message up here that says coupon usage limit has been reached. Please try again after some time or contact support. Well, I tried contacting support. If you go right here live on the website, there is a chat window, or is it? They give you this thing where basically it's not a chat, it's more like a message. You can send like a little brief email to them, and that's about the best you can do. So, what I did was I waited a couple hours, no bueno. Still getting the same error, telling me that the coupon code is not valid. Now, what is a person to do? Now, grand scheme of things, the coupon code was mobile 100. That is mobile 100. And I typed it in, and it still wouldn't work. Now, as a recording of this video right now, it is working. Okay, the code is working as of the video. Now, I was doing this Monday evening when I got home from work. I was doing this Monday, Tuesday, and now it's working on Wednesday. Now, if you're someone who is doing a sale over a specific weekend, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, I mean, your coupon code should be working during that weekend and not a couple days later. Now, I know there's room for an argument there. There really is. But not just looking at it from that perspective, but look at it from a consumer's perspective. Now, sure, yeah, you do get a lot of people who know tech specs, or maybe they know Skytech and they know how Skytech operates. That's probably what was going on. But what if you got Grandpa Joe and Aunt Ellen who are trying to buy, they want to buy a gaming computer for little Sally or little Jimmy, Jimmy wants to get into streaming, he's 15 years old, wants to get into streaming. They're like, hey, let's just not get him some like little, HP computer from like Best Buy. Let's get him something that he's going to love. It's going to look cool and, and it's going to last. Well, they don't know the tech specs. They just say, oh, this looks kind of cool looking. Maybe they go for that. But let's be honest, this day and age, I mean, the economy, no matter where you are, down south, Midwest of the United States, or even outside the country, if you're buying a computer and you don't know the tech specs, I mean, and also, let's be honest, this is originally over a $3,000 computer. So $100 off, it helps. It helps with the taxes, it helps tremendously. However, the code wasn't working. It wasn't working from what I understand, possibly during the weekend itself and also on that Monday. Now, so what did I do? Well, I emailed. Yep, that's right. I emailed them. So, because I really thought this computer was cool, and we can talk about this computer at a later date. And no, I do not claim to be a professional, but after having this disappointment come up in my face a couple times, I was like, well, I've worked in retail. I've worked in customer service. I know that things can go wrong, but Joe Average is not necessarily going to have that patience. How many times have you been in a department store buying some socks for your uncle, or shopping for a gift during the holidays, and you get that one customer that just doesn't get what's going on? Well, that's why I'm making this video here, guys. So I emailed. That's right, guys. I emailed. Now, I was trying to use a little leverage, to be perfectly honest, because I was annoyed by it. Because right now, full disclosure, outside of the channel, I'm dealing with a lot of some frustrations with my current job and with life in general. And, maybe it was a little amalgamation, a little combination of all that stuff just kind of irked me to the point where I wanted to try and get some answers, and I wanted to see what could we actually do here. So I simply wrote him, and I said, shocked and disappointed, I am a small YouTube channel and was going to record the process and ease of buying a computer from your company. That's what I was originally going to do. I had OBS up. I was screen recording. I was going to see like just how quickly or how easy the whole process would be, so that anyone who's trying to buy from Skytech or from another retailer can see how easy it is to kind of go log in, maybe create an account and go ahead and purchase a computer system. And I go on to say your mobile code of mobile 100 coupon wouldn't work. Message read coupon. I basically don't the message I just read to you guys. Please try again after some time. I tried 6 hours later and no change. I will obviously point this out in an upcoming video. Imagine you won't care. That's just me being a little salty. I am just a small speck of a channel, which I am. I mean, I'm not a big tech channel like so many others. I'm just 1,600 subscribers strong, which is a drop in the bucket when you can throw names like Gamers Nexus and Jay's 2 Cents and Barnacles and I mean, there's just LTT, Linus Tech Tips, and so many others that have thousands upon thousands, or hell, even millions of subscribers by now. So I'm just a little drop in the bucket, but I thought that maybe because, in a way, I am social media in a way, that maybe that might say, hey, let's have a look at this problem. I wasn't trying to get anything for free, mind you. I'm just trying to get some answers, and I figured, hey, let's see what we can do about this. Can we exploit this in some shape or form? I will either go to one of your competitors or build my own PC. I actually did a video speaking highly of your company and their many affordable options, which I did. Now false discounts. Slow loading website, because if you ever go to their website, it does usually take a while for it to load, not just for me, but for everybody and their grandmother. And less than ideal customer support lines. I figured at the very least you may be able to avoid such disappointment and frustration in potential customers. Okay, that's what I did. I don't think that was terribly bad, but after 2 days, I mean, I get this response here. Hello, David. Mobile code 100 expired already, which is why it didn't work. I apologize for inconvenience, but you can send me your video after it is posted so that I can send it in for feedback. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you. Okay? That's not the end of the story, guys. So, I said, I'm sorry, but I find it frustrating and confusing that your company would send a coupon code that was already expired. That truly makes no sense from a customer service perspective. Could you explain that, please? I also attached a screenshot of the text message with the code, which I did. Because, I mean, just telling me it was expired is one thing. But could we have some reasoning? I mean, if you take your car to the mechanic and the mechanic says, hey, I fixed it. Well, if there is a knocking in the engine, you kind of want to know, I mean, you may not know every part of a car engine, but hey, you want to know, okay, what was wrong so you can have an idea for future reference, right? That's what I was looking for. I was looking for an explanation as to, hey, if it was expired, I mean, what, was there a limit? Was there a quantity? They didn't tell me. He didn't tell me that. So I responded with that, and then he says, okay, good news. It looks like I was actually misinformed. He says he was misinformed. I apologize for that. It's actually still active until December, so you can go ahead and use Mobile 100. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you. Okay, so we go ahead, and with that, I mean, the code is working now, but again, there's no exact reasoning. He's saying it's misinformed, but that the code actually is still active. Well, if the code is active, why did it not work? There's no mention of quantity being exhausted. There's no reasoning, okay? I mean, most of the time we sign up for coupon codes for, clothing retailers or any online platform, they send you a code. Well, you're never told or, oh, we only have one of 100. It's we never hear that. I mean, if that was the case, if they put in their system that there's only 500 or 5,000 codes to be exploited, that the code is no longer valid after X number of tries, then, there's, at least tell me that. I'm looking for some reasoning and some understanding to this. Okay? Then, yes, there's more. So, appreciate that this is still valid, but the fact still remains, it showed on your site at checkout that limit was exceeded, preventing me or anyone else from using it. I have a screenshot on my PC at home, and I can send it to you later because I was messaging him today through my phone. Also, my video isn't completed yet. I'm sure if this happened to me, it happened to so many others. Just the experience alone makes me question whether or not to purchase from your company, regardless of hearing good rave reviews from some of my friends. And he then rebutted with, well, that's actually why I told you it was expired, because on my end, I saw it hit the cap of 200 of 200. He did not mention that up until now. Okay? But marketing informed me that they increased the cap after I told them to remove it off the site. I can't convince you to purchase one of our computers here, right here. This is personally, this is terrible customer service right here. I can't convince you. He didn't say, based on how you're speaking, or based on our previous messages, it appears I can't convince you. He just says flat out, I can't convince you to purchase one of our computers. But if you decide to go with another company, I would recommend going with NZXT. Now, guys, working all the years of retail I've worked, all the years of technical support and customer service I worked, if there's a problem, if there is a problem. Now, I did not tell him specifically which computer I was looking to buy, or maybe he looked at the one screenshot I sent. But I mean, he's waving a white flag. I mean, he has room to say, well, what computer were you looking for? Maybe there's another bonus or another discount, something we can apply, so that, because we want, we would like to have you as a customer. No, none of that. He just wants to get rid of me, basically, and to hand me off to NZXT, which, I mean, nothing against any workmanship of them. I've never had an NZXT computer, but, and we're going to cover this on a future video, some of their pricing is way out there. Is way out there. As far as bang for your buck, I mean, right now, from what I've looked at, Skytech is still a great option. However, I mean, for the customer service person to wave the white flag, I can't convince you. Or there's not even an attempt. He's just saying, I give up, and hey, go across the street. That's what he's telling me here. Now, I then go on to say, I was simply looking for clarity of thought for the situation, and your response is to say you can't convince me to buy from Skytech and I should go elsewhere. Not really the customer service and retention practices I would expect, or their lack of. I now have more information to include in my video. Thanks to this experience, thank you for your time. Now, those that don't know retention, retention is, let's say you have a cable provider, and you figure the bill's a little too expensive, so you just want to cancel everything. Well, retention is who you usually wind up getting transferred to. Retention, they want to retain you. Hey, let's take a look at your bill. Let's see if we can offer you an incentive, a program, or maybe we can restructure your services so that we can still kind of meet middle in the road and keep you as a customer. That's retention. There was no form of retention here. He basically just said, hey, the coupon's working now. At first, it was he gave me the wrong information. Then he backpedals with, "Oh, great news! It is still valid." And oh, I can't convince you. I can't convince you to buy a computer. He hasn't even tried. There's no effort. And to just say, "Hey, go across the street. Let them deal with you." That's how this is kind of coming off as. Now, I'm sure there's arguments that can be made for this. But to just say, "I can't convince you to buy one of our computers," it wasn't a factor of convincing me to buy a computer. I was interested in the Prism 3. I was seriously going to see if we can do some financing so I can pull it off. But guess what? Guess what he did? Nope. He just said, "Nope. Go across the street to NZXT." That was his personal recommendation. And finally, excuse me, guys. Finally, I explained. He responds, "I explained to you what happened and told you the truth. It sounds like you made up your mind already, so there's nothing else left for me to say. I take pride in my customer service, and I try to be as transparent as possible." Yes, I am throwing a little emphasis on there, but that's how it reads. One of the biggest issues is when you are communicating through email or communicating through text message, it's kind of hard to convey emotion. So a lot of times we react based on what we see. Now, that could be part of this element here. With just doing it through email, with not being able to speak with a person, there's these issues. Now, obviously, he was taking this personal. I mean, I explained to you what happened and told you the truth. It sounds like you made up your mind already, so there's nothing else left for me to say. I don't care how you try to defend that. That comes off like he push comes to shove. He's pushing back, okay? I take pride in my customer service, and I try to be as transparent as possible. He tries to be as transparent as possible. In the beginning, I could see, basically working customer service and working in a call center for 9 years, I know you have the information in front of you. And if you reach out to another department to speak to someone about an issue that's going on, and then you get that information, okay, yeah, I could see that. But he's getting pretty defensive right here. Now, I responded with, "I thanked you for your time," and I thanked you for your time. "I wasn't attempting to attack you personally, which you seem to be reacting as if I was. This is my first time interacting with your company. When I referenced customer service, I was presuming that it was Skytech standards and not yours. I will clearly be moving on. Enjoy your day. Again, thank you for your time." I tried to be as nice as possible with this situation. Because, honestly, if you're talking to Amazon, if you're talking to Best Buy, I mean, no matter who you are talking to, guys, it's never that person personally. Okay, when I worked for the cable company that I worked for, someone called in, they're, upset, pissed off at an outage, service issues. Well, it's not personally my fault, but I am a representative of that company. Here's an opposite situation. Someone had an issue, and what did he do? He took it personal. He was taking it personal. He wasn't taking, he could have clarified, our, Skytech Gaming's policy is this, or the information we have is this. I mean, he took it personal, and honestly, this kind of situation, no matter how great the product is, this is going to send a very negative vibe to any potential customers, especially if you have someone who's never purchased through them before. They're going to feel a certain kind of way. I mean, Uncle Joe and Aunt Ellen, who are trying to buy a computer for little Jimmy, they're like, "Hey, we're trying to save some money here. Oh, we can get $100 off, or we can get 80% off, or $80 off of shipping, or whatever the case may be." They sign up on their phone, which means they're committing to your company to receiving messages and alerts from you. And obviously, you can sell them on, extended warranties or additional extras to be added onto this device or this package, but none of that happens. Because you know what? One, you give them this code, they're like, "Oh, this code isn't working. What else isn't going to work?" people will have these little thoughts in their heads. Not always, anyone who knows computers knows things can go wrong all the time. Anyone who does any kind of troubleshooting knows anything can go wrong at any time. But the fact remains that, hey, this is a $2,629.99 computer, okay? Let's just round it off to $2,700, let's just say, okay? So, $2,700 computer, $100 off of that takes it down to $26. That makes it a little bit more affordable, does it not? It does. And it's more the principle of anything. It's like, hey, we want to get Jimmy this computer, but, if it was a little bit lower, hey, $100 takes it a little bit lower. But now you gave him hope, and then you pull that hope away. So, most people, most Joe averages and Jane averages are going to move on to another competitor, maybe Zydex or Digital Storm, Phoenix PCs. There's a whole plethora. I mean, iBuyPower. There's a whole genre. There's a whole plethora of competitors you can go out to. And I try to dissuade people from going to like Amazon and Best Buy, buying the iBuyPowers or the other system integrators that they sell, but that's a whole nother story for another video. But the fact remains, this came off like, I'm sure I could have been a little bit better. Full disclosure, I definitely could have talked a little bit better in my messages. However, in the moment, which most people are going to be in the moment, because we never really think things through until after we say stuff half the time, let's be honest. However, this guy was coming back and taking things personal. It's not personal, man. It's your company. I mean, it's it's Skytech Gaming. If their coupon code isn't working, it's not your fault, is it? No, it's not. But he took it that way. When you make things personal, when you make things personal, you make things personal, and that's how he came off. And I still can't get over the fact that he was like, well, I can't convince you. You haven't even tried to convince me, bro. Not even one bit. And now you're going to send me across the street to NZXT. I mean, it boggles my mind, guys. It really does. I know this is a little bit of a long video, but honestly, Skytech, your customer service practices. Now, sure, could this be a one-off issue? It could be a one-off where this person was having a bad day, or maybe they were dealing with so many people with Black Friday and Cyber Monday that they just didn't want to deal with one more person. Well, this one more person was willing to buy a $2,700 computer. So that would have been a sale. That would have been something that would help the company. So many companies out there, you get customer service people where you get some people who they will go the extra mile for you, and that creates a better overall experience. Okay? Perfectly honest. Hey, you take your car in for a knocking, they also check your oil, they check the tire pressure, and everything's working great now. You didn't ask them to do that, but they take that extra step, and guess what? You're going to keep coming back to them. Skytech, you sent me across the street, basically. So, honestly, guys, Skytech, they have a lot of great choices for computers. However, their customer service is something else to be desired. This was a terrible experience. In all honesty, can I recommend Skytech? I have still yet to buy a computer from them. Based on this experience, am I likely to buy a computer from them? Probably not. My build project that I was thinking of doing is probably going to be back on the table. I just have to see if I can resource a lot of the parts that I initially was going for, but I missed out because of Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So we'll see what happens. Who knows? Maybe I will take a look at some iBuyPower systems. Maybe I will go to NZXT. Who knows? But this is money lost. And if this happened to me, this can happen to anybody, guys. So please take some moments, do some research, shop around, and check out those codes, those saving codes you can give through your email or text messaging. Make sure they work before you get too hyped up, because hey, you never know. It could be another Skytech issue. So yeah, in this instance, Skytech definitely struck out. I talked to a few of my friends in the community, and I showed them the emails, and they're like, "What? Yeah. Apparently, some people say that the customer service with Skytech has been going down tremendously. I still think they are a great option for computers, for pre-built computers and systems. I'm not necessarily a big fan of like this case right here. I mean, I'm not a big fan of how this case kind of looks. You know, it almost looks kind of like a Kia Soul. I mean, I love the hardware in here. I mean, if I did something like this, I would even consider doing a case migration myself. But I mean, they have a lot of great systems. They still have this sale going on right now. So I mean, if you're looking for stuff, they have stuff at different levels, and I do recommend them for the hardware, but for the customer service, if this happened through email, could you only imagine how long it would take you to get somebody on the phone and get a resolution, get things working? This just leaves a very bad feeling, bad taste here, guys. So I gotta say, Skytech for the hardware. You know, if they were, let's say they had a brick and mortar store, I would definitely go check them out. But they don't, like many others don't. You know, just based on that email interaction back and forth, just completely terrible. And full disclosure, we'll see if anything like this changes in the future. So, guys, let me know what you thought of this video. Was I just a crazy guy? Was I Kyle? Was I just ranting because I was butthurt? Was I, did I have a legitimate argument because the code wasn't working? It is working now. I could go ahead and buy the system, but it's that experience. Experience is everything, okay? If you have a bad experience at a store, you're likely to not go back to that store, okay? Am I wrong? No. If you go to a restaurant, you take your significant other, your partner to a restaurant, you have a bad experience there, you're not ever going to return there again, most likely, right? Same thing here. So yeah, Skytech left a bad taste in my mouth, and yeah, guys, don't know, we'll take a look at the next system integrator. Maybe we'll do NZXT since Chris, who was the person I was emailing, and I did black out his name so nobody could see his first and last name. I blanked him out. I mean, so just total white flag and just go across the street, talk to NZXT. That's not customer service. I mean, honestly, if I worked for Skytech, this person would need a coaching. I hope that my email interaction with him is randomly pulled for a review by one of their supervisors or managers. When I worked for the cable company I worked for, they would pull calls. The supervisor would randomly pull a call from you, and they would review the call to see, could there be something you could have done better? Could you be a little bit more efficient? Could you help? Now, if they somehow send me an email on how my interaction was, I'm going to be blunt and honest to them. But guys, I want to thank everyone for checking out the video. I know it was a long one. I rant. And oh, by the way, I rant. But guys, if you like this video, give me that thumbs up. If you didn't, let me know in the comment section below. You can always email me at davesdimension78@gmail.com. You can also message me right there on Instagram at Daves_Dimension. And also, if you want to help contribute and support the channel, we do have PayPal at Dave's Dimension right there. So guys, until next time, this is Dave from Dave's Dimension saying keep on busting. You know what I'm going to say. I will always catch you on the flip side. Take care, guys.